So for lack of a better term, the Cardano ecosystem got beat down with a stick to shit. But technically so did the rest of the market, so that's really not the worst thing in the world. Now long term, I do believe in Cardano, and I think on a long term scale we could hit $10. So with that in mind, I know there's some degens in here that want a little bit more than a 6, 7, 8x move. You might be looking for a 100x move. And trust me, they are blended into this massive list of projects that you see on the screen. Every ecosystem is going to look like this, but this is where we come in and we'll dive in a little bit deeper. And I want to showcase a few projects in the Cardano ecosystem that after doing all the research on these, I find to be pretty legit options moving forward. But before we get into this, make sure you throw a like on the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And go join our Discord group. We're here to make crypto easier for you, better define altcoins. We went through all the hassle of going through all of this so we could bring you some of these top 5. Now, obviously, there are going to be other ones within this list that we didn't mention. So more videos will be coming soon. And I also do want to highlight that Cody is one that would have been on this list, but the market cap is already relatively high. And we already have a video on Cody. So it's not added to this, but it is a great utility within the Cardano ecosystem. First one we're going to be going over is Charlie, or C3. This is a decentralized oracle. Think about Chainlink, but actually decentralized. Now this one's only sitting at a $9 million market cap. And all of these projects we're going to be talking about are under a $10 million market cap. There's even one project on this list that's under a $1 million market cap. Now for anyone that doesn't know, oracles are used to take real world information and bring it back into the blockchain. Oracles are necessary to be a trustworthy component so that you can grab this information and not come back with false information. Now essentially what the oracle is a trusted source that can go and actually retrieve this information with the use of smart contracts as well. Now really another easy way that you can think about this is if you know what a ZK rollup is. This would be more of that style because it's a trusted source that's actually going and obtaining the information. Therefore, the source and the middle person, aka Charlie, does not have to be vetted every single time because it's going to act like a solid source like Google would, for example, with Web 2. Now, oracles are going to be big in any ecosystem because the blockchains themselves cannot communicate with the real world without the help of oracles, because the blockchain doesn't want to be tainted and get this false information or raise its probabilities of getting hacked and other things like that. So this is where a project like Charlie is going to really step up and stand out. Now, I haven't really seen any other oracles within the Cardano ecosystem that are competing at the same level as Charlie. So at the moment, they don't necessarily have any competition, which is great to see. And you're talking about a project that's under a $10 million market cap. So your 100x move for this is only a $1 billion market cap, which is definitely achievable. That's not even putting you in the top 50 projects. And that's not even putting you in the top 50 projects considering the dip that we just had too. So when the market starts to go back up, and let's say Bitcoin gets back up to 60, 70, 80, 90, $100,000 range, we're going to laugh at a $1 billion market cap in relative terms, especially when you're talking about a big Cardano, especially when you're talking about a big utility like Cardano. You know these smaller utilities within that massive ecosystem are going to explode. Look what's happening with AVAX, with Solana, with DOT. All of the utilities are starting to take off. Now, there's obviously a little more risk when you're going with the utilities, but there's also more reward when you go with the utilities, and that's why we're talking about them now, because the market already got beat down with a stick. So these are always great opportunities to dollar cost average your way in. Now, obviously, that's not financial advice. That's more of a recommendation based on what I'm doing. But these times are for accumulating and not for selling if you're a smart trader. Now, the next project we do want to go over is now this next project we're going over, I do have a YouTube video about it as well. This is Paribus, or PBX. We made a video on this when this was released on KuCoin, so this is already released on a couple major exchanges already. Now this one has an $8 million market cap with a 24-hour volume of 5 million, which is pretty insane comparing the actual market cap to the volume. So there's a lot of upside to this project still, even if we've already talked about it. Similar to Cody, but Cody has a much higher market cap than this right now. And really where Parabus is going to stand out is the ability to have the NFT collateral-based loans, the lending, borrowing, or staking of synthetic assets, being able to stake your NFTs on top of doing LP staking. You have your profit sharing, and you have LP collateral-based loans. So you're going to be able to borrow against your liquidity positions, and you can leverage up while staking. And there's going to be a lot of ways to really take advantage of the DeFi protocol system within Cardano. And I think Parabus is going to be one of the main solutions that are going to allow you to be able to take advantage of those. And when you're talking about NFT collateral-based loans and NFT staking, that's massive because a lot of people, if you're in the NFT space, you know Cardano NFTs are making a big move right now. They're getting very popular. And compared to the rest of the market that took an absolute dump, the NFT market is holding pretty well. And I'm going to be doing another video that explains why the NFT market is doing so well in comparison to the rest of the market, and why we didn't experience the same kind of crash that we saw with the traditional crypto market. But all in all, Paribus has a lot of upside potential as Cardano starts to grow and the smart contracts start to be released. Obviously, we're a little delayed in the process, and Cardano got shit on, and they didn't meet the expectations, and SundaeSwap didn't meet the expectations. But this happens a lot in crypto. You got to remember that people are expecting so much in the space right now, especially from a large project like that it's easy for them to be let down. So I'm not necessarily worried by any means. I think Cardano is going to recover. We're just surrounded by so much FUD right now, and everyone is, for lack of a better term, shitting themselves. But when we're talking about base loans and LPs and borrowing against yourself, and and being able to take out money against your collateral. So let's say, for example, you have an NFT on Cardano that's worth 150K. You have no anticipation of selling it. Well, you can collateralize that and put it in as a loan, and then you can take out a certain percentage based on that. Let's say 30-40% of that money. That's a nice little chunk of money that you'll be able to take out and use as a loan and repay without having to let go of your NFT. This next one is probably my favorite pick of the group, more so because the market cap is at 813,000 right now. So we're not even at a $1 million market cap on this project. And when we talk about this a little bit more, you're going to understand why I'm starting to see that this has tons and tons of potential. I really don't know why anyone's talking about it. Maybe Cardano was their major first play. But really, Matrix is going to be a decentralized multi-chain perpetual swap. This is going to allow you to trade futures and leverage, not only on Cardano, but on Polkadot and on Polygon as well. And they have AVAX and Binance Smart Chain as well, which they're going to be adding into this same virtual AMM perpetual swap. Now you're able to leverage up to 25%, and you have infinite on-chain liquidity, which is absurd. On top of that, they do have a DEX aggregator for Polygon, which means that you're going to be able to use their DEX aggregator to get the best price from any sort of DEX that's on the Polygon network. And if they start to use an aggregator for all of these exchanges and all of these blockchains and ecosystems, this is going to be some next level shit. And we talk about it a lot. These multi-chains and these chain agnostic projects are going to be the future. Now you're talking about a project that doesn't even have $1 million market cap that's working with all of these massive ecosystems. That allows you to trade leverage from a Web3 wallet, so you don't have to send money. You can trade, for example, from a Daedalus wallet or a B58 wallet. You have your emergency nuke buttons, your DEX aggregators, your multi-chain deployments. You're very early in the roadmap. We're still very, very, very early in this roadmap. And right now we're currently working on bug bounties, on-chain referrals, your Roy wallet, MatrixSwap routers, deployment on Moonbeam, which is going to be fucking epic. Now, if none of this excited you already, let's look at some of their partners in the ecosystem. You have Polygon, you have Kylan, you have Charlie, who we just talked about. And keep going down. And they are backed by the best. A195 Capital, Varies Capital, Alphabet, X21, Peter Rock, Skyvision. They have a lot of VC money, so the fact that they have under a $1 million market cap is actually baffling to me. I would call this a true gem of gems. And when you actually look at this list, notice that the derivatives only has MatrixSwap. So right now, from the time that this was posted, there are no direct competitors to MatrixSwap on Cardano. So not only are they going to handle and be basically the largest derivative and maybe the only derivative on the Cardano ecosystem, they're also a chain agnostic derivative that's working on the other massive ecosystem. So any of those that do well, MatrixSwap is going to do well with them. And we'll take a quick look at the swap itself. You can see AVAX, BSC, Polygon. You can go through here and swap all your tokens out. It's going to show you the aggregators and the best price that you're going to be able to get these tokens for. Really easy to use, quick, simple. Connect your wallet. Right now you can use MetaMask or Wallet Connect. And depending on which ecosystem you're going to log into, you'll see all of these will automatically connect you into the MetaMask wallet unless the option for the Connect is there. So BSC and Polygon are the only two that have Wallet Connect. The other two you have to connect right now through MetaMask directly. That's because there are really no DeFi wallets that are out yet for Cardano. Now it is important to keep a note when you're looking at Matrix, or now known as Matrix Labs, that their token distribution, they only have 2.5% that are going to public sale. So there's going to be a very, very small and finite amount that's going to be going to the public. Everything else is going to be done through rewards or future development and their advisors, private sales, things like that. So this is one of those that could be very valuable if you get into it early, and you could become one of those first 2.5%. Now these other two are going to be more honorable mention projects. They're very, very new. This one, for example, VyFinance or VyFinance. You can't find this on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, at least with a market cap yet. They were just listed on CoinMarketCap, and I had the luxury of being able to meet this team in Miami from Miami Crypto Experience. They're based out of Australia. Really good group of guys. So some of the major factors that they're going to be running and taking advantage of are the tokens and staking, the auto harvesting features. They're going to have a decentralized exchange. You have the yield farming, and you have a learning management system so you can engage with crypto safely and securely. This is a very, very, very new project. As you can see, the roadmap starts in Q4 of 2021, and we're going into 2022 right now. So we're going to have a very busy year for VyFi, which is great to see. Now with their partners, you see some of these other ones we've been talking about. ADAX is big, Charlie, B58, Cardax. So they are working with some other major utilities within the Cardano ecosystem. That is a good thing to see, especially when they're going to do the NFT staking and things like that. You're going to want to see more of these gaming NFT projects pop up on the list. When VyFi is actually available, this is going to be one of those that you can get into very, very, very early. But keep in mind, there's a lot of risk that goes into buying into these projects early. And more so, I'm very, very interested to see what this auto harvester is going to be like. Being able to see these, essentially, what I'm assuming it's going to be is a bot of some sort that's going to allow you to tell that you're just going to give the money to it, and it'll go in and out and take advantage of the funding and the profits before impermanent loss or other things like that come into consideration. And the last really small utility I do want to talk about is B58 Finance. They're going to be a DeFi wallet solution that's not even out yet for Cardano. It will act similar to like a MetaMask or a Daedalus wallet, except for B58 is connected to a lot of these other utilities within the Cardano ecosystem as well. You saw their name pop up on like Charlie and Paribus and Matrix as well. And this will allow you to essentially do everything that you would need to do within the DeFi ecosystem and to enjoy all of the benefits of the Cardano ecosystem through the decentralized finance aspect. And here's another one that's a very early project. Their scope of work starts in Q3 and Q4 of 2021. So we're just getting into the first leg of things right now, working our way into the smart contracts, the adoptions, and then Q4, we're finally going to get the exchange. So this is a project that you're going to want to watch closely as the year continues to move down and Cardano starts to gain more traction. This is going to be one of those projects that pops up in the middle of the year, towards the end of the year, and can get a really, really strong push depending on how the market situation is at that moment. It could honestly be a better thing that it wasn't released in the last 6 or 7 months, because then it would have been experiencing this dip instead of being released on the dip and then going up. You'll notice a lot of projects will do better performance-wise, longevity-wise when they're released during valleys instead of being released during peaks. So if B58 can catch us on the right string and the right move, we could see this start to take off when it's actually available. And these Web3 DeFi wallets are always going to be important as Web3 continues to get more advanced. You're not going to have to send money. You can just keep your money in your Web3 wallet, and then you'll be able to communicate and interact with all the utilities and decentralized exchanges and leverage trade and so on and so forth from this specific DeFi wallet. And I would be safe to assume that at some point they're going to integrate NFTs as well, so that you can have some NFT staking within this DeFi wallet. And this is going to wrap up our video on some utilities on Cardano that I find really interesting. If you didn't get a chance to already, please make sure to throw a like on this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, go join our Discord group. Hopefully you're having a great morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on wherever you're watching this in the world, and we'll catch you on the next one.